Hey guys, welcome to the video. So this is the HM201 motorcycle dash cam from HFK. I'm really excited about making this video and introducing you to this really great piece of equipment. I installed it about 2 weeks ago on my KTM 1290 Super Duke, and I've been riding around using the equipment. I wanted to get some really good time with it before I made this video, and I gotta tell you, I'm super impressed with it. It's really a very well built piece of equipment, comes in super handy, and it's also super stealthy. This system will mount to just about any motorcycle on the market, and if you do it right, nobody will even know that it's there unless you're really looking for it, okay? So some of the features of this HM201, like I said, it's a front and rear dual 1080p DVR system. The cameras use 137-degree widescreen lenses, so you get a really full view. They have a electronic image stabilization system. It even has night vision recording, so when you're riding at night, instead of just seeing what the headlights are seeing, you see everything that the camera is seeing. It's really great. Uses 5G to connect to your phone. It's completely waterproof. It's very easy to install, and so far it appears to be pretty much bomb-proof. I was very impressed with the construction of the DVR itself, and how well thought out the cable system was and everything else. So the control unit itself comes from the factory with 64 gigabytes of built-in memory and can be expanded up to 512 gigabytes with a removable SD card. It films in 60 frames per second. So if you need to slow it down, it's not 120, but if you need to slow down the footage, 60 frames per second will allow you to slow it down and still have clarity when you do that. Okay, so as far as the recording goes, it records in user adjustable 1, 3, or 5 minute intervals in a loop recording setup. Okay, so while you're riding, it's recording. You have it set, for instance, set up for a 5-minute loop. Every 5 minutes, it will save that file, partition it over here, and start recording again. Makes it easy to access should you need to go back through your video footage. If you know roughly what time of day it was, you can at least get within a close margin, go through a couple of different files, and you'll be able to find it. All right. The system recognizes G-forces, so basically if you have a collision, the camera will film that and lock that piece of video so that it cannot be erased. You can't accidentally, while going through your footage, delete that piece of footage that you may need at some point or whatever. But at any rate, it is G-Shock sensitive, and you can adjust it to how many G's you want it, right? So if you're riding off-road, for instance, and you know that you're hitting a lot of bumps, you might want to turn that G-Shock indicator up just a little bit more so that it only locks that footage when you actually do have a spill or a collision or something like that, right? Now, there is also an optional remote control that mounts to your handlebars. It's very small, very easy to use, comes with the battery already inside, and it's ready to go as soon as you get it. Very handy. The system, like I said, it's a stealth dash cam system, okay? So it only comes with a few pieces, really. So you have the control unit, you have the 2 cameras with the connected cables to it, and then you have the power supply that hooks up to your battery, and also has an auxiliary lead connected to it as well. So for mine, all I did was I hooked up the power supply to my positive and negative terminals on my battery, and then I tapped into the accessory port that's already built into my KTM Super Duke. So now whenever I turn on the motorcycle, the unit turns on. When I turn off the motorcycle, the unit turns off. Another thing about the unit, when you turn it on, it automatically starts recording. There's an audible beep when you start the bike up, or sorry, when you turn the battery on, when you put power to the unit, you'll hear an audible beep, lets you know that the system is recording. Other than that, there's nothing in the way at all. There's, you know, on my Super Duke, I don't have any handlebar space. It's very crowded up in the cockpit there. So this is really nice for me. The remote control, as you can see, it mounted it's very well thought out mount. It comes with a couple of different options. I have the handlebar clamp mount on it. It also comes with two separate brackets, one straight bracket, one L-shaped bracket. You can mount it with a bolt on your brake reservoir, your clutch reservoir, you know, whatever you have on your handlebars. So there's different mounting options for the remote, but the remote itself is very small, very out of the way. And I gotta say, it's also very well built. Installing the system was simple. Now, I opted to have everything hidden away. I wanted it a very clean install, so I took all of my plastics off, I took my gas tank off, all that other stuff, so that I could run the wires underneath where they're out of the way. But depending on what you're looking for, it's not necessary to do that. If you had like a cruiser of some sort with basically just the tank is all you have to worry about, you could run it kind of underneath the tank along the frame rails. It comes with a bunch of zip ties for you and ways to mount your stuff up out of the way. The camera brackets are very small. They come with 3M double-sided sticky tape. The tape is incredibly strong, so make sure you know where you want to put your camera first before you put that tape on there. I cleaned it off with a couple of alcohol wipes, cleaned off the part of the bike and also the bottom of the mount, and put the tape on there, and it has been holding really well. The cameras, the two cameras come with one long cable, one short cable. So depending on where you're going to mount your control unit, you can decide which camera goes where. So I mounted my control unit underneath the back seat, or the passenger seat of the bike. So the camera with the long cable went to the front, camera with the short cable went to the back. Tons of different mounting options for this, and it was really, you know, just a matter of looking around, seeing where I wanted the cameras to go, and cleaning it up and sticking them on there. The cables, the way that the cables mount is really a genius setup. A lot of the companies are using this now. Both the cameras have yellow ends on the cables, and then the control unit has yellow ends on the end of that side. There are barrel connectors. You just slide them in, screw the barrel down. Now they're waterproof, they're tight, they're not going to come undone. The same thing goes for the power supply from the leads off the battery to the unit itself. This one is in red. You cannot screw this up. I have used a dash cam system where there was a front camera, there was a rear camera. This one, it doesn't matter. Whichever camera you plug into whichever cable, it'll work just fine. It's recording both at the same time anyhow, right? The controller for the dash cam is built like a tank. It's made out of metal. It's not plastic. It's all metal. It's super well constructed, and very and it seems to me to be overbuilt, right? So that's great. The whole system is fully waterproof, and I'm really happy with it. Again, like I said, it has electronic image stabilization. So my Super Duke, because it's a V-twin, it's pretty buzzy going down the road, and even with that, the footage that I get is really pretty clean, honestly. And I love the fact that it has the StarViz night capability, or night vision recording for the cameras, right? It is kind of cool to be driving down the road and see everything in the background, or on the skyline, the horizon, whatever, while you are recording, and not just whatever your headlights are seeing, right? If you do opt to go with the remote, it wirelessly connects to the main unit. You can switch camera if you're running your phone up front, and you have the app, which I'm going to get into here in a minute. If you have that pulled up, you could switch between front and back camera. You can switch between picture in picture if you want your front camera to be the small picture inside the large one, or you can make your rear camera the small picture, what have you. You can stop the recording. You can take a snapshot with the remote control if you wanted to get a picture of something, and it's really a great system. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the app and how to control and set up the dash cam system from the HFK app, right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to turn on the ignition and you'll hear a series of beeps. Okay, so those 3 beeps mean that the camera is now recording. So like I said, as soon as you put power to the system, the camera records. So you never forget about turning on your camera, right? So I'm going to take off the back seat, push the Wi-Fi button. Now that it's on, what I'll do is in the settings of the phone, I will connect to the Wi-Fi from the unit. Once it pops up, here it is, HM201. Now that I'm connected, I'll go to the app. And you can see that I have the rear in the upper picture-in-picture, and then the front is in the large screen, okay? Now you can switch that. I have the rear in the large screen, the front in the small screen, right? You can take a snapshot, which I just did, you know, etc., etc. That's all pretty easy to figure out. If you click on the folders button here, oh, sorry, in order to go to the folders, you have to stop the recording, okay? So now that I've stopped the recording, go into the folders, you have your file up top, and these are all of the videos that I've taken or that are stored on the system. Now once you get to your 64 gigabyte limit, the system will overwrite the oldest ones first. Okay, let's see here. So this is some of the footage from riding. And like I said, the V-twin on this bike is very buzzy, but you can see this image stabilization is really great on this system. Okay? All right, so let's go into the settings. You see here you have the full list of loop recording. I've got it set for 5 minutes right now. Picture-in-picture style, you can adjust your recording size, whether you want the 60 frames per minute or 30 frames per minute. Microphone sound, you can show the date and time, which is really important. If you get hit and somebody else is at fault, you want that date time stamp on your video. You can format the SD card from the app here. So on your G sensor, you can turn it off, low, mid, high. Like I was talking about earlier, if you're riding off-road, you're hitting a lot of bumps, you want that G sensor probably on high, all right? And yeah, so it's very easy to control this system from your phone. And if you were to run a handlebars, you know, you can mount your phone on the handlebars, you can see what you're recording. Why you would need to, I don't really know, but you know, it's an option there for you. And then when you turn the bike off, it'll give you another 3 audible tones so that you know the system is turned off, it's not still drawing power from your motorcycle. Okay, a little something about the control unit. Now you can see here it's got several different options for mounting. It has a screw, like a camera thing. You can screw it in and hard mount it to your bike. You can put a piece of 3M tape here. It's got these slots in here. You could run a zip strip through it. For me, this is the perfect place for it. I just kind of tuck it right down in here inside the underneath the passenger seat, and it sits in there really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the ignition up real quick. And you'll see over here you have a red light indicating power to the unit. Now that is going to show you only that you have the power on, okay, or that there's power going to the unit from the battery. Once you see the red light blinking, that's going to tell you that it's recording. Now, let's say you wanted to do some maintenance or something like that. You needed to disconnect the battery, whatever. You can see right now that it's on and it's recording. If you want to turn the system off before disconnecting from the battery so you don't get any shortages, push and hold for I think 3 seconds, maybe 5. Okay, you'll get your 3 beeps, and then the system will shut off. And there we go. To turn it back on, push and hold, or push and release, I should say. You see the red light, it's got power. And now it's recording again, okay? To turn on the Wi-Fi, if you want to hook up to your app, you're just going to push and hold till you hear the beep. And now the Wi-Fi is on. Okay, and you can connect to your app or to the remote control if you're using the remote control. And then you'll see when I turn the ignition off, three beeps and it's off. The power light will stay on for a little bit and then it will shut down. So there you go, guys. That is the HM201 motorcycle dash cam from HFK. I wouldn't make this video and say glowing things about it if I didn't really believe it was a great product. I truly, honestly do believe it. They have a whole lineup of other stuff. They do have CarPlay systems and all. This is not a CarPlay. This is for someone who's just looking for dash cam recording, reliable recording, clear quality recording, night vision recording, and something stealthy, so it's not, you know, it's not in the way, you can't see it, it's you don't even know it's there. So anyways, I give it 2 really big thumbs up. I think it's a great product. If you do have any other questions that I didn't cover, please hit me up in the comments section. Ask if you're interested. I think it's a great product, and I would definitely, if I were you, take a look at the HFK lineup of products. Alright guys, that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a great big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I put out any new content. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys out on the road.